There's a kind of pain no one warns you about, the pain of God's silence, the pain of praying and hearing nothing, the pain of waiting with no sign of movement, the pain of trusting when heaven feels quiet, the pain of believing when nothing changes. If you've ever wondered why God feels still, Silent Saturday holds the answer. We live in a world that hates waiting. Everything is instant. Everything is fast. Everything is now. But the soul doesn't move at the speed of the world, and God doesn't move at the speed of our fear. People today are exhausted because they're trying to rush what God is trying to grow. They're trying to force what God is trying to form. They're trying to escape seasons God is using to shape them. And when God seems silent, we assume he's absent. But silence is not abandonment. Silence is formation. Between the cross and the resurrection, there was a day no one talks about, a day of confusion, a day of grief, a day of silence. Silent Saturday. Jesus' body lay still. Heaven seemed quiet. The disciples were hiding. Hope felt buried. But what looked like inactivity was actually preparation. God was working in the silence. God was moving in the stillness. God was setting the stage for resurrection. Silent Saturday teaches us this. Just because you can't see God working doesn't mean he isn't. Patience is trusting God's timing when yours is running out. You want answers now. You want breakthrough now. You want clarity now. But God's timing is not delayed. It's deliberate. Patience is saying, God, I trust your pace more than my pressure. Patience is faith in slow motion. Faith isn't loud. Faith isn't dramatic. Faith isn't always emotional. Sometimes faith is simply staying. Staying when you want to run. Staying when you want to quit. Staying when you want to take control. Patience is faith choosing to remain. Patience is the bridge between death and resurrection. There is always a waiting season between what died and what will rise, between what ended and what will begin, between what you surrendered and what God will restore. Silent Saturday is the space where God prepares resurrection. Let's bring this to your life. Maybe you're in your own Silent Saturday right now. You're praying, but nothing is changing. You're believing, but nothing is moving. You're trying, but nothing is opening. You're waiting, and it feels like God is quiet. But hear this. God does some of his deepest work in silence. God does some of his strongest work in stillness. God does some of his most important work in hidden places. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean God isn't preparing something. Just because you don't feel movement doesn't mean God isn't making a way. Just because you don't hear his voice doesn't mean he isn't speaking through the silence. Your waiting is not wasted. Your patience is not pointless. Your silence is not empty. God is working beneath the surface. If you're in a season where God feels quiet, you're not forgotten. Silent Saturday wasn't the end. It was the middle. And the middle is where God does miracles that no one sees until the stone rolls away. Jesus knows what it feels like to wait. He knows what it feels like to sit in silence. He knows what it feels like to trust the Father when nothing makes sense. And he whispers to your heart, hold on, stay faithful, keep trusting. Resurrection is coming. Because on the other side of silence is glory. On the other side of waiting is breakthrough. On the other side of patience is resurrection. Before resurrection, there is a silent Saturday. If this message spoke to your heart, walk this journey with us. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs strength today and continue walking the road to the cross with us. Your growth matters. Your faith matters. Your story matters. And you don't have to walk it alone.